Good morning and welcome to this weekly market update from AGM Markets. Today is the 29th of November 2013. What we'll do today is go through some technical analysis on Euro Dollar, Cable Dollar Swiss, Euro GBP, Aussie and Gold. Just going to review what's been going on this week in the markets. And yeah, just go through any interesting setups that are in play and should be interesting over the next sort of week or so. Okay, then let's have a look at the Euro Dollar. It's generally been a quiet week in terms of all the FX really, because we are winding down towards Christmas now. It was Thanksgiving yesterday, so the market was quiet yesterday. It's just generally starting to quieten down now in terms of volume and volatility, but it's still been quite technical. I mean, Euro Dollar, this is the weekly chart. We spoke about this setup before. This is on the weekly, and you can see this well. I'll just zoom in a little bit here. So this is the fib here from the yearly low to the high. You can see, bam, we came off the 50%. Last week's weekly candle, nice and bullish. And this week we've just continued towards the upside here, just grinded higher. If we flip it to let's flip it to the daily, you can see this fib here we've been speaking about for the last few weeks now. Sorry, not that fib, the one from the low of the chart. Yeah, so from the low of the daily chart. So yeah, that's basically the same fib. Yeah, you can see it clear on the daily that we've literally just been grinding higher and higher. We had a nice reversal pattern there, but we came back off the 100-day moving average. Struggled to get above the 50-day, and now we've closed above, and it's now acting as nice support. So the bull's going to want to see this just continue to grind higher towards these 1.3836s here, and that's pretty much it really. I mean, and if you're looking at to fade the move, then the sellers will be looking at this move here. So from the highs there to the lows. The 50% initially held for, that's why we've got that reversal candle there, that sort of bearish engulfing pattern. And then it came back up, it bounced back up to this 100-day, and it capped at the 50-day moving average, which coincided with the 50% retracement of this move here. But we've closed above now, so now the 61.8% retracement is going to be the next key area of resistance here. And we haven't quite tested it, but it's quite near. We may get a test of it today. And yeah, it should be interesting really. I mean, also in terms of key levels, we've got 136s around here as well. I'll just draw this up. Yeah, so we got the 136s there, that's the key sort of resistance, just trying to get above this at the minute, but we haven't had a daily candle close above this level, so there you go, you can see that. Actually no, yesterday I think it closed just above actually. Yeah, yesterday I suppose we got a slight close above, so yeah, the 136 is looking to support at the minute. I mean, it'd obviously be a big option expiry level as well, so just keep an eye on these 136s. But no, I wouldn't be surprised to see a test of the 61.8 today. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, to see it pop up and test that. And it's all about that really, because otherwise we're just going to be keeping grinding higher, in my opinion. If we look at the 4 hour, you can see we had this nice move. I think this was last week, yeah. From that low, so you can see that high there. I'll just wind up a bit so you can see it clearer. We had a lovely reaction. I think we probably might have spoken about this in last week's video, off this 61.8% retracement. Lovely reaction there, and it just rotated higher and took out those highs. So if we do get a retracement again, which is looking like, I mean, this previous 4 hour candle was quite bearish really, then I'd say this would be an interesting move here. So I just flipped it to the 1 hour so you can see a bit clearer. Yeah, that'd be an interesting move. So it's pretty much the low of the 1 hour chart to the high. You can see it's already starting to come down a bit, so it may just retrace. I mean, it's Friday, so we could get a sort of long squeeze here, and just all the longs just take their profit. It's pretty much end of month as well. So yeah, we could get a decent retracement today, which would be interesting. So yeah, it's either that fib or this one here, whichever one you prefer. Either one is perfectly fine. But I mean, yeah, I think this one should be quite a decent one. But of course, you just see how it reacts at the 50% level. Of course, it could just slice through like butter. So yeah, some sort of reversal candle if we do get down, which is looking quite likely, I think, today. Okay, let's have a look at the cable. This is the weekly chart. Very, very bullish chart. It's eyeing this sort of well, it's already broke above the yearly highs, and we're eyeing the this high around here of 2012. I mean, so I remember speaking about last week's video. I thought, I mean, a retracement is sort of, I wouldn't be surprised to see it as some sort of retracement, but it's pretty much a bull flag, and we've broken above. So it's just in grind higher mode at the minute, and I mean, it really could just keep on flying high and sort of take out. And we could look at even 137s here, which is the 2010 high. So if we do break above these 2012 highs, then we really could start to pop up here. There's talk of sort of raising interest rates because the UK data has been quite decent. So yeah, very, very bullish for the pound indeed. Actually, let's look at the shorter term time frame. Sorry, I'm not just going to look at the weekly. If we do start to get retracement similar to euro, then this will be the fib that I think should be quite an interesting one. A lot of people will be looking at. So that's the same on the daily there. The sort of the recent swing low to swing high. Interesting that today's daily candle is starting to look quite bearish, so we could end on a bearish candle and retrace for the whole of next week. Yeah, so let's leave it on this 4 hour. Zoom in, so it's this one here. Yes, the 50% comes at 1.61 there, so we're still a long way away, still 200 pips away, but it could be quite an interesting fib if we do start to retrace. That's what I'll be looking for, because too much you don't really want to be buying at these highs unless you're a sort of long-term swing trader. But no, I wouldn't be that comfortable buying these highs at the minute, especially where it's sort of end of month and looking towards end of year as well. And be surprised to see some liquidation of some positions in the cable. Dollar Swiss, we've spoken about. It's been quite a nice technical chart, and we had this fib here. So from that high to that low there, bam, off that 50% round here, rotated lower, and then if you extend your fib down, so we look at the high from that recent swing high which bounced off that 50%, and then bam, we came off the 61.8 here, and we're sort of grinding lower. Then if you flip the fib, so look from lows to highs, it's not quite testing the level, but where I suppose it's in between the sort of 50% and 61.8% range. Yesterday we had a daily candle close below that 50%. Actually, I'll flip it to the 4 hours so you can see it a bit clearer. But what is interesting is we have a key level here, which is at 0.9050s. So that's the key support going on at the minute. You can see there, nice clear support. Even if you look on the daily, it's clear, and on the 4 hour, previous 4 hour candle was quite bullish. It's starting to base really, quite a few candle wick spikes below, closes above, so I wouldn't be surprised to sort of have a little bounce. I mean, it could just bounce up towards this 50% and then reverse again and come back down, but of course it could just rotate higher. So yeah, it's an interesting one to look out for. That's the key level that I'm keeping an eye on the dollar Swiss. You can see the previous 1 hour nice and bullish as well, so we could get a nice little bounce here going into the end of the week. Euro sterling on the weekly, I haven't really looked at it too much this week, to be honest. This is the key fib and keep an eye on. This is the weekly chart, and you can see we've come off this 100-week moving average, but not really a convincing bounce up. If you flip it to the daily, we have key supports around the sort of 83.23s. That's what's holding this daily chart. We haven't had the daily candle close below that in a sort of couple of weeks. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 candle wick spikes below and closes above, so it looks like it's starting to base here for the meantime. We could get a nice rotation up towards a 50-day moving average, so there's a couple of hundred pips that could rotate up. And in terms of selling opportunities, in fact, let's keep on this daily. In terms of selling opportunities, so let's say if we do start to base here and it comes back up, then this will be a fib that I'd have thought a lot of people would be looking at, and the 50% comes in at 0.8414s there, and it also sort of coincides with moving averages as well. The 50-day and 100-day moving average are floating sort of around this level, so keep an eye on the price action there if we do come up. And that's pretty much it on the euro sterling, to be honest. Aussie, it's still the two same setups that we spoke about in the last couple of weeks' videos. This is on the daily chart. The sellers are still keeping this in play with a lovely reversal off the 50% retracement there, and it's just rotating towards the downside. And in terms of long fib setups, we spoke about this one. We had initial reaction at here, the 50% retracement and 100-day moving average confluence zone, and we had a brief rotation towards the upside, and we sort of got capped at this sort of 50-day moving average here, or I think it was a level actually. Yeah, pretty much the 94.50s here, or 94.40s even capped that, and it rotated towards the downside, and this fib is pretty much invalidated now. So I think the bears, sorry, are in play on this one, and we'll be looking to take out this 0% line, which comes in at the 0.88. So yeah, it's looking quite bearish. In terms of shorter term sell opportunities, this fib here on the 1 hour, so from the highs here at the 0.9445s to the lows here at 0.9053, this fib here, the 50% comes in at 0.9250, bang on. So yeah, that could be an interesting setup there. Also the 100 SMA here on the 4 hour could coincide with this 50% as well. So it looks like it wants to rotate towards the upside, I think, going into the end of this week. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that that fib get tested there. Could get some interesting price action around that. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. Let's move on to gold. In terms of the weekly chart on gold, previous weekly candle nice and bearish engulfing, and it's just been going sideways this week. Really not that interesting chart. It's a shame really, because gold's normally nice and technical, but in terms of gold, this level here is basing the 1234s on the daily, is the one that's holding at the minute. But every sort of time we've had some support, it's just had a brief bounce up, and we had this support here, brief bounce up, sold off, so we could get another brief bounce up, rotate off, reversed off his 1267s and come back down again, but nothing massively of interest. We can see on this 1 hour just quite choppy really, no sort of decent price action. In terms of fibs, in terms of shorter term sell opportunity fibs, this one here could be an interesting one. This is sort of a recent clear swing high, and the 50% comes at the 1259s. And don't forget that the round numbers are still always interesting to see on gold. So currently 1250s will be one to keep an eye on, and that's, you can see where it's sort of just holding below at the minute. In fact, that's the key sort of line in the sand, I'd say, is these 1250s. And if we do get a bounce up, then keep an eye on 1300s as well. And we can see that, yeah, that 1250s had a lovely spike there, and it rotated higher. So if we come back up here again, it could hold again and come back down. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a more healthy retracement and get above this level, and perhaps test a 50-day moving average and come back down, which sort of coincides with this fib here as well. Yeah, that could be an interesting one if we get a healthy retracement towards the upside, and keep an eye on that 50% retracement and 50-day moving average, and also the 1300 levels just above that as well. So it could be an interesting selling zone if we do come back up, but of course it doesn't have to. It could just keep on rotating towards the downside. Okay, then that's all for today. Hope you found that video useful. If there's any other pairs that you want to have a look at next week, then feel free to comment under the YouTube video, or send us a tweet to our Twitter feed, which is at AGM Markets. Hope you have a great rest of the week trading. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching.